Hello. Hello. Welcome to the GT Parent Meeting and Webinar for October 2022. Like last month, this session is pre-recorded due to the limited amount of time that we have. Please note that all speakers here are also live in the background to field any questions or comments you may have. So feel free to use the chat feature to send us your questions about anything that's stated in this presentation. Next slide, please. Today, we are going to discuss the GT department updates. We're going to talk about GT workstream updates, as well as the GT pack updates, and give you some featured resources of the month. To get started, I'd like to turn the floor over to Dr. Westfall to tell you more about the GT information download.
I had to chuckle when we were going through and planning this because, as you know, last month we also did the information download, received a lot of feedback that our parents appreciated that it was pre-recorded. They appreciated they could go in and watch it afterwards if you couldn't just make it right on time. I also know that using the live meetings or live events, in the way that we had done was brand new for you guys, was brand new for us. We are hoping that some of the technical adventures that we had last time have been completed this time, and that you've managed to come in and see us for the first time. So usually at this point, I have a lot of information to say, but we have representatives, really almost all of the representatives from the GT department are here. So they are actually able to give you some of that information on their own. So I'm going to pass it over to Krista Wilson, who's going to talk to you about the GT learning plans. You can't make that stuff up. If you'd unmute, please. She fell right out. Oh, like you don't know how often this happens. It's okay.
Oh, man. Good evening. By now, you should have heard about GT learning plans from your student. You should be working on their goals and have had an opportunity to provide some input. In Family Access, once teachers have uploaded these goals into the GT learning plan, you will receive notification that there is an online form for you to sign. Our big GT learning plan signing date was October 6th. We have a few campuses that are busy working with students to perfect those goals, and you will be receiving notification if the learning plan is not available to you. Next slide.
Before she goes on to the next slide, I just kind of want to throw out there that we've been using the term about the GT learning plan signing day, and it always reminds me of, the signing days that we have in the fall. And anyway, I know it's a little odd, but I always think about it whenever you mention that, Ms. Wilson.
Good evening. So I'm here to discuss the GT Family Series, the 2022 Fall Challenge. This is an opportunity for our gifted students to participate in a self-selected enrichment activity. This challenge is completely optional. The Fall Challenge is titled The World Around Us. Registration ends on Friday, October 12th. So you have until Friday to register for this, for the fall series. The final products will be shared on our GT YouTube channel beginning November 18th. And if you are interested, please take a moment to view the parent series page on the district's GT web page.
And I would imagine at this exact moment, we are going to be putting in the announcements for your live event. We will put some of that supporting information for you. So we'll place the website so that you can just click and get there quicker. And then we'll also place the registration link there as well. So you should see some announcements, I believe is what they're called, in live event, popping up any moment with that information.
And Lori, Dr. Westfall, I'm sorry, the registration ends Friday, October 14th. I said October 12th.
That would be today. Be reassigning dates and days. Okay, so this Friday. So, and this one's a really cool one, y'all. I was excited about this one. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and do that. So you will remember, as part of my announcements last month, I talked to you about the mentorship program, and I had a whole list of different areas that we were looking for. So Ms. Bryan is here today. So she's going to talk about that for herself today.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am very excited to say that of our 25 students, we have successfully placed 22 of them with professional mentors for the spring semester. We've had a lot of great people step up to mentor our students, and it looks to be a really great spring semester. We're still looking for 3 areas, though, for 3 of our kids. One student is wanting to go into architecture. One wants to go into consulting, either in the marketing or the financial sector. And then one is really passionate about public policy. So we've got some feelers out and we've got some leads, but if anyone would like to volunteer or knows someone in one of those fields, it would be great to hear from you. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about our GT workstream updates. We had a few we'd like to discuss. We're going to start off with GT it's not coming out, credentialing, and that will be headed over by Dr. Cahill. Dr. Cahill?
Good evening, everyone. I'm very excited about the GT credentialing workstream. We actually are brand new, and we kicked off with our introductory meeting this morning. Our mission for this work stream is to develop and implement a credentialing system for the teachers of our gifted and talented children in Fort Bend ISD. The purpose is really to be able to easily identify these teachers and acknowledge all the hard work that they've put in their training to work with the specific subpopulation of gifted and talented. So we are really excited about that work.
Thank you, Dr. Cahill. Now for the GT representation, if we can have Dr. Westfall speak.
I will speak about the GT representation. This is actually our second year. And I did kind of want to put in there too. I probably should have put mine first, so I could have put in this little bit in there. Those of you who were on the GT Pack last year, you will remember that this little discussion that we're giving you right now, these reports, if you will, were part of our information piece to the pack. The work streams that you see listed here and that you're hearing us talk about, these represent some of the key priorities and objectives that our department has been working on. Most people know it's available on our website, but most people know that, or if you don't, now you do, that the GT department has a 5-year task map or a 5-year plan where we are working through certain initiatives to improve programming. As part of that improvement process, we have something called work streams. They used to be subcommittees. And just like most areas have subcommittees to work on the work, that's what you're looking at here. So what you're hearing us report, and we will report each month to you because we've got them all started, is how our work is going in all of these different areas, because a lot of this is new initiatives. So for the GT representation, it is well known nationally that representation in GT programming, not just here in Fort Bend ISD, but across the nation, is not always equitable. It's not the same. So the GT representation work stream has been tasked with kind of looking at FBISD's processes and procedures to try to maybe close some of the gaps in representation. And this year we're going through, because Vista's program is on our Title I campuses, and we are kind of going through and looking at the evaluation of that program to determine ways that we might be able to bump up that program in our Title I campuses. So that's where we are in GT representation.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Aisha Holmes, if you can talk to us about the secondary service design.
Yes, the secondary service design held its first meeting for the 22-23 school year. Our primary focus is to expand GT services at the secondary level. And based on student feedback, we want to offer a GT-specific independent study course. And during our meeting, our primary discussion focused on identifying strategies for recruiting students to enroll in the GT-specific independent study course. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. For the Student Identification Program Expansion, or SIPE, that'll be headed by Ms. Crystal Wilson.
Hello again. The Student Identification and Program Expansion Committee work stream is designed to look at processes and procedures within the district that can be improved for student identification. We've held 2 meetings so far this year. We have been an active work stream. We've revised the GT identification profile for implementation this year, and we will be looking at the student scales for identifying gifted services for revision in Fort Bend ISD for part of our GT identification process.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Monica, before you go on, I just had a question for Crystal. So I know some of the terminology that you used, where might, like, how would the parents recognize what some of those things were? In other words, what might each of those do, or how do they contribute to the ID process?
Thank you. The student profile is the document that we use to gather the data to demonstrate whether or not a student is eligible for gifted and talented services. The scales for identifying gifted students, which is known as the SIGs, is a document that we receive from parents and from teachers that provide us with input about behaviors that they observed from the child that would indicate whether giftedness is being observed. And so we've revised the identification profile to make it more easily readable and understandable for parents. And now we are working on the SIGs, or what is known popularly in the district as the parent inventory. We're working to revise that to be more parent and teacher reader friendly.
Okay, thank you again for that. Last but not least, if we can have Ms. Nancy Bryant come back to us again and talk to us about communications.
Sure thing. Thanks, Monica. So the communications work stream has been in place for several years now, and we meet on a monthly basis. We're very active, and our communications work stream consists of district employees on the campus and administrative level, campus level, COGS, and students as well. We've had a lot of student input as to our communications with our students directly at the secondary level. So we've been working this year on using different means of communicating, starting with the SMORE platform and emailing directly from SMORE. You may have received multiple copies of the newsletter last month in October because we were doing a test program, but we also send it out through eBlast through the district. So we're getting a great readership at this point. We really are seeing high numbers, and that's our goal, of course, but we're always looking to improve. So ask that we please put up this survey for our community to fill out to make sure that we are putting in the newsletter the things that you find most important to you, and to know how you best access the newsletter. So if you wouldn't mind taking a moment to scan the QR code or type in the quick little bit.ly link, that would be fantastic. We'd love to be able to hear back from you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so as we move forward, we would like for all of you to save the date for our GT PAC Parent Symposium. This year, it will be presented, or we'll at least have a symposium in December, from December 6th through the 8th of 2022. That is a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday. We listened to the parents' feedback that came to us, and we are going to host this again as a virtual event for this year. So we do invite you to come out and listen to the different things that we have. We will have, of course, a keynote speaker that will be there. We'll have people giving workshops and talking about different types of interest in things that are specific to the gifted parent and or the student. We also will have some networking breakout sessions where you as a parent will have an opportunity to talk to other gifted parents about things that are happening in that world. So we do invite you again to come out December 6th through 8th and join us as a participant and or a speaker if you like for the GT Parent Symposium. Next slide, please. For this month, our featured resource is coming out of TEA, the Texas Education Agency. They have a site on their website, a page that talks about gifted and talented education. If you go onto the site with the website is www.gtequity.org. If you go out there, they have several resources of pre-recorded sessions and different types of webinars that you can listen to that might be of help to you as a gifted parent. So by all means, visit the TEA site. There are so many things out there that you definitely want to hear about. Great information. That is our resource of the month. So in addition to that, I'm also going to talk about the one that we had last month as well, because it's still coming up November 30th through December 2nd. The Gift Ed 22 conference is here in Houston. This, as a parent, is something you do not want to miss. It will be hosted at, it'll be hosted downtown. So if you are interested, go out to the TAGT site and sign up for Gift Ed. But you can become a member or you can do it as a non-member, but it's a 3-day conference that has a lot of helpful information, as well as some great resources and networking tools that will be there for you. So that is the other feature resource of the month. So lastly, next slide, please. This is the end of our webinar. Please save the date for our next one, which will be Wednesday, November 9th at 6:30 p.m. Again, these sessions are pre-recorded so you can look at them at any time. And we are doing that to be mindful of time. In the interest of doing that, we do want to make sure this is still as unique and authentic as it could be. So you see some things in here that maybe we could have edited out, but we want you to know that we are doing this as if it were a live session. So come join us next month and listen to us on Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. So for some helpful information that would be good for you as a GT parent. 6:30 p.m. We will see you there.